Hello everyone, welcome to ABC of GCP course. This is associate level Google certified cloud course. In this course, we are going to follow the Google GCP syllabus and we are going to learn that how you can do the transition from a network engineer to cloud engineer. So that's why you can see I have written here from CCNA, this is like Cisco Certified Network Associate or any network associate. I can put XCNA here, means you are associate in a networking, like you're managing routers, switches, firewall, etc. as the associate level. And then you want to transition, you want to transform your knowledge from CCNA to GCP ACE exam. Here you can see this is also associate cloud engineer, right? Now, before going there and before going to touch the syllabus of what GCP or what Google is offering in their cloud associate, first of all, we should discuss that why we are doing certification. Means, do we have value for certification? Do we have trust for certification? The answer is yes. When you are doing the certification, you can see that most of the organizations, they want certified engineers. So maybe you and I have good amount of knowledge, but that should be shown somewhere in the form of certification as well. So you can see here that clearly if you are a certified guy, then your chance of getting selected will be more. You can see that 59% higher quality of service means that's the expectation that a certified engineer having with respect to non-certified. Maybe they have a little bit more knowledge than me or you, but still if it is showing in your CV that you are a certified person, so chances for get elected is more. Not only that, but the trust is also there, right? So certification, once you get certified, it will always get paid. Okay, try for certifications. Here I have given the example for Cisco certifications. Next video will check that what different type of certifications we have in cloud as well. Okay, so try to get certified. In that case, you can build the credibility or become much more successful, because these are the report generated by some reporting agency, so, on the basis of survey. Okay, so the point being here is this, that uh, your pay scale will increase, you have more chance to uh, get selected, right? And then within the organization as well, your chances to get promoted, your chances to get salary hike, etc. Means all those benefits you have. The point being here is this, that why? Because certified people, they have little bit more trust with respect to non-certified. Means that's the survey. Okay, so let's get started about learning Google Cloud. In this associate program, we are going to learn more and more about cloud, even cloud networking, compute, storage. It's a complete package type of certification. And in upcoming videos, we are going to learn more and more about this. Whenever we are starting learning new things, what we want? We want a reference link, we want reference materials, videos. Do we have access to labs? Do we have any free resources, etc.? Means once you want to start planning to do any of the certification, you need some sort of material, some sort of a study material. Do we have any collaboration where I can go and ask questions? Do we have any community where I can join, and maybe similar type of people, they have similar type of questions. So we'll get to those queries, responses there, or even we can ask any query to get the response, etc. Right? So I'm going to give you the link here, and I'm going to show you that how you can go and navigate all those all those materials, the community link, the YouTube videos, etc. There are a lot. We are going to watch this in this video. Now, before going there, I told you that what we are doing, we are transitioning or transforming our knowledge from CCNA level to cloud level, right? So suppose you may or may not a networking professional, but you know the basics of network. Because I have a strong background related to Cisco, I'm giving example related to Cisco here. So if you go and do your certification in Cisco, you'll find that you have different type of labels. You have associate level, then you have professional level, you have expert level, right? Now, in professional level also you'll find that you can become professional in security, enterprise, service provider, collaboration, data center, etc. Means there are so many different technologies where you can start as an associate and then you can go a little bit deep inside that technology in a professional and then you can become expert as well. Now while becoming expert nowadays, you have option that you can become expert in automation as well. That's why some DevNet or DevOps you'll come to know. You can become expert in designing as well. So different criterias there in Cisco as well, that you can go and become the expert in designing. You can go and become the expert in automation, and then you have this normal security and service provider collaboration, etc. Means those trends are also there. Those technologies are also there, right? Now, in similar fashion, you can go and check these inside Google certification as well. You can see that you can go and start as an associate, but in professional level, you have professional network engineer, you have professional collaboration engineer, you have professional security engineer. Then you can go and check the DevOps certification as well. You can be you can become design engineer as well. Okay, you can see how these certifications, their breakups are very much similar. Okay, now next thing that you should know that where we can go and get all those related materials, where all those courses are situated, you know, where I can get the books, ebooks, what are the links, etc. So for that, this GitHub link, let me quickly go to that GitHub link. So if you go to that particular GitHub link, this is the GitHub link you can see on the top. And if you go here, you'll find that the owner of this particular GitHub link, he has put all those related information in one place. So official exam overview, you can go and click to the link. This page will come. Now, if you want to check the syllabus that we are going to check in the next video, so here you have the syllabus. Oops. I'll navigate you through Google free tier exam guide. You can see, you can go to the exam guide and then you have this exam breakups, etc. We'll discuss this in next video. But yeah, about the book, about how to pass, means some of the feedback from who has cleared the exam, community related information, where you have all those different type of GCP courses over different type of nice platforms like Pluralsight, Udemy, Cloud Guru, Coursera, etc. Some of these vendors are, I mean, vendor specific training materials. Like if you go to the Coursera, you'll find that Google vendor itself, they are putting their courses. Then you can see the books, success story, video session. So many free sessions are also here. Freeware is there. You can go and do your kickstart, and then you can go and check some professional level courses, you know, over Udemy or any other platform. The main point being here is this, that you should get started and you should be on right track, you know, because time is key here. You can't just start and then you lost somewhere. It's a big area, you know, because you have to learn different type of things inside cloud. What I'm going to do now, that in next few videos, I just wanted to make sure that you understand that what is cloud computing. cloud computing, etc. What is physical data center? See, cloud is there that there are so many services. Means you can connect to the cloud and you can use whatever service you want. Google has more than 200 services. In that, maybe we are using 10, 15, 20, correct? But before reaching to that part, means before reaching to Google and see that what services they are offering, apps, etc., let's do one step back, go one step back, okay, and check what is cloud computing, what is data center, like just the basic overview of that. And then again, I'll come back in the next video, means next video, third video, and we'll discuss about these syllabus that we have. Okay, great. Let's just stop here.
Cloud computing. Now suppose if you have to fly from India to Germany, then you will purchase the entire airlines, or what you will do? Obviously, you book a ticket inside the aircraft and you will go from India to Germany like that. Okay, so that means what does it mean? That suppose if you want a particular compute infrastructure, or you can say if you want a particular network infrastructure, why we need network infrastructure? So let me break these things. Say companies they want what? Profit. And companies, they are running over what? Applications. Now these applications need what? These applications need infrastructure, correct? They need IT support, they need infra, they need quick response between client and user. They need a spread of network from one branch to other branch, one from head office to the branches, like that. Okay, so this is that the overall goal is to increase the income, to increase the profit, but the other thing is that you have to decrease the infrastructure cost, or decrease the other cost involved in the operations, you can say. Okay, so what is the goal about cloud computing is that whenever you need that infrastructure, you take that infrastructure whatever time frame you wanted. When you are not using that, release it. Okay, so that is the overall goal of this cloud computing, that it is something like need based computing, or it is something that once you need it, you take that. Once you don't need it, give them back. Something that whatever you are using, you are paying for that. Correct? Now let's see the theory, what theory says. So this is not a miraculous product that will provide you all sort of solution, but yeah, with efficiently using this cloud computing, you can reduce the operational cost, you can reduce the overall cost of the organization. That is the overall goal of this. And how you can reduce this? Because this cloud have some properties, it has some inherent properties, like it can do on-demand self-service, like it can rapidly stretch the network, means you can stretch the infrastructure without needing so much approvals, or without needing so much contracts. Then you can effectively use the resources. Then you have broad network access, because this cloud visibility is at the moment is everywhere in the globe. So you have that broad network access. And finally, you can measure the services. So you can measure, oh, I have taken service A, B, C, D. I'm using only B and D. So why I will pay for A and C? Correct? So those 5 things are very important with respect to cloud. And if you add all these 5 things, obviously you will reduce the cost of the operation. Correct? Now you can see here the cloud hype that in 2008 approx and 9, at that time people are thinking, oh, cloud is like something will solve everything. But once they know the reality, now you can see that it is constant at the moment, means still now people know that okay, with cloud I have features, means I can reduce the cost, but you have to apply this in a proper direction, in a proper manner. Okay. Again, what is the traditional IT challenges? That you have low efficiency, although you have so many routers, firewall, workstations. Means in terms of physical things, you have you invested lot many in the IT infrastructure, but what is the overall outcome? And believe me or not, that if you see your premises or if you see your infrastructure, you will find that the most expensive department is the IT department. Say for HR, what they need? They need paper, chair, table, that's it. Obviously they need one workstation to work, but if you see the IT infrastructure, you need database infrastructure, you need a router, you need security devices, you need high expensive servers, all these things you need. So if you compare the cost of say IT infrastructure with the cost of HR, finance, sales, you'll find IT department cost is very much high. So if we compare with the cost with the efficiency, is it that much efficient? Plus it has lack of agility. And again, that is due to extreme complexity. Let me show you that what is the definition of this cloud. You can refer this evolution of cloud. You can say that 1957 IBM has started this cloud. We'll see that in the upcoming lectures, and that what was the mainframe sharing and then how this cloud has been evolved. In 2006, this AWS, they really come very hard in the market, and at the moment AWS, I think they have 90% of public or hybrid cloud share at the moment. Rest all other companies, say Cisco, I think Cisco has less than 5% of share, even Microsoft has less than of 4% of share, like that. At the moment, the leading company in the cloud is the Amazon Web Services or AWS, and they have more than 1,000 products at the moment in the market. So this is the final definition of the cloud computing. Let me explain this definition, because this definition is very compact. It is telling that cloud computing is a model, and you can write here demand-based model. So cloud computing is something called demand-based model. What it will do to enable the ubiquitous, a convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. Means you can share the resources. So whatever resources you have with respect to network, server, storage, application, services, that you can share. So it's a demand-based model where you can share the resources, and finally that can be rapidly provisioned and released. So both the things, you can deploy it, you can release it. So cloud is nothing but a type of IT infrastructure hosted somewhere. Because this is a shared IT infrastructure, so what is the good thing about this? That they can give this particular resource as a company A, B and C. Say this is with respect to cloud, we can think like this. Now a particular client A can deploy their services, and then it can release in no time or in very less time. So that is the overall definition of the cloud computing. Let me stop here. I hope you can understand what is the cloud computing. What is the data center? When we are talking about the cloud, so suppose this is the cloud from where we are taking the resources, and once we use that resource, after that we can undeploy it. Okay, something you can say that demand based type of thing. But inside the cloud, obviously you have some sort of infrastructure, and obviously that you can think this as a data center. Now inside that particular infrastructure, they can use any form of virtualization, automation, you can say the software defined network, etc. But still they need some hardware, say related to network, related to the storage, related to say virtualization. So whatever things will be there, they need some hardware. Here you can see the model or the abstract of a data center, where you can see that we have various components. So first of all, you have the floor, and if you ever went inside the data center, you know that they have some raised floor. It depends that inside that also they can keep the UCS or power backups, or they have somewhere in the corner they can put the power backup primary and secondary power supply. Then obviously you have a very strict entrance room. You need different type of access level to enter the room, because inside the data center you have so many devices and they are running 24 by 7 by 365 into say 10 or 20 or 15 years. So at that for those purposes you need proper cooling system. Okay, so this is the overall model of a data center, and if you see what is the definition of data center, it says special facility conceived to house, manage and support critical compute resources. We know about these critical compute resources. They are something called say network, storage, servers, application, etc. So to put all these critical resources, compute resources, you need a particular area or a particular data center. So that is termed as a data center. Okay, and obviously for cloud also we need a data center. Now here are some definitions about the power backup system. You can take a reference from this particular slide. What about the entrance room, telecommunication room, cooling system? Obviously you need a good cooling or AC system to cool all the devices all the time. Then we have rakes. Generally 42U rake is the standard, but it depends that what type of device, what type of port density you have. According to that you need rakes or patch panels or cabling, all sort of infrastructure you need. Finally you can see here the raised floor. Okay, so just hold on, check the definitions, and we are very much good for this particular section.
In this section, we are going to learn that how we can go and create our free tier account over Cloud Console. And once we have our free tier account, Google is going to credit you 300 USD, and that will be valid for 90 days. You can go and start learn. You can go and start using that console to gain knowledge, to understand about the Google Cloud platform. Okay, so let me go and show you the steps that how you can go and create your free trial. You can go to Google and you can search like GCP free tier. Once you go and search, you'll find this google.com free trial 90 days trial. You can go there. Once you reach there, then you can register at this particular console with your email address and some other information as well it will ask. So I can go and choose any of my email account. This particular email address already their console is expired. This 90 days trial period is over. I can go and use some other account that I have where I have to go and give the my card information, credit card information, right? So you can see that in this particular page, you can see that you can get 300 USD. You can use 20 plus products. You can go and evaluate for your knowledge purpose, for your certification purpose, etc. Here we have option to click get started for free. Once you go and click there, get started for free, you can see it will ask you some questions that your country, what is your organization need or size. So this is personal project, for example, terms and condition. Okay, your mobile address or maybe any different number you want to give. And then lastly, it will ask you that what's your business name, and the business account is, I can go and change as an individual. Then it will ask the card information, the tax information as well. And you're very much done here. Simply you have to go and click start my free trial. Once you go ahead and start your free trial, then the Google API behind the scene, it will go and try to communicate with the MasterCard or whatever card information we have given. That API means Google API will communicate with the information, the card information gateway APIs. They will try to authenticate. Google will go and do a small transaction, and again they will reverse the transaction as well. So it will validate that the user is correct or not. Once everything is okay, within few seconds you have your account activated. You can go and use the resources. So I have one account actually. Let me go and check if it is working fine. So I have used one of my account here, and with that account still I have few days left. Once you log in, means once you use your free trial, you got 300 USD. Your dashboard will look like this. And I will go and navigate through all these components, and in the upcoming section we are going to learn more and more about all those options we have inside the dashboards. You can see that we have the API service, billing, IAM, admin, marketplace, compute, Kubernetes engine, cloud storage, BigQuery, VPC, Cloud and SQL, etc. Correct? And on top you have the search bar where you can go and you can search VM instances, projects, etc. We're going to do a lot of activities, and I will walk you through all these steps. So this is the way that you can go and create your free trial account that later on you can go and use for your practices, your lab practices, etc. Let us talk about GCP ACE exam syllabus. Syllabus is divided into 5 different sections, and is starting with understanding the cloud environment. Means we can go and set up the project, we can go and set up the environment. Once we have the understanding about cloud environment, then you'll find that in section number 2, we have to go and understand about planning and configuration. So in this particular section, we have to understand various services and components that we have inside cloud, such as database services, such as compute services, such as container services, networking, security, etc. Right? So once we are done with section 1, that is setting up the cloud environment, planning and configuration, obviously in section 3, you have to go and do the deployment and implementation. Section 3 is quite big and important as well, because in this section, we're going to do the deployment on the basis that in section 2, we have done the planning for the configuration. So once we do the deployment implementation, obviously, there are so many different things will come, such as databases, relational databases, such as networking in terms of a virtual private cloud, container services, firewall rules, etc. Section 3 is going to be lab oriented section where we have to do lots of implementation, lots of configuration. Then section number you can see 4, you can see that operation. So first of all, we understood the cloud, then we have done the planning, then we have section 3 where we can do the implementation. Obviously, once you have your cloud up and running, then you have to do day-to-day operation. And that's why we have section 4, understanding the operation related to cloud solution. Okay, once we are done with section number 4, section number 5, although section 5 is little bit small, but in section 5 we have to understand about the configuring access and security, the access management, security policies, etc. Okay, so these are the 5 sections we have, starting with the understanding of cloud, then doing the planning, then we have to do the implementation, then we have to understand the operation, day-to-day operation, and finally, few of the missing pieces that we haven't covered in section 1 to 4 that you'll find in section number 5 as per our GCP certification. Okay. So let's stop here, and the upcoming section you'll understand more and more services. So you can go and correlate all those services configuration related to our exam certification agenda. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is GCP and why. Although we have discussed this in our previous video that what is cloud computing, more precisely computing, cloud computing, and you find that I have told you earlier that it's a data center. It's a big, large data center where all sort of resources are there. So as a user, I can pay and use that services, or as a business or as a company, business can pay and use their resources. They don't need to build their own entire data center. They can host their application, their services over the cloud, and they can use their services. That's the overall rough idea about why we need GCP or any type of cloud and what's benefit we have. Now, if you go and check to this particular link, cloud.google.com, you'll find that what different type of offerings that Google is providing. They are providing more than 200 plus services, and in upcoming section, I will log into the console and I will show you that yes, they have long list of services that Google is providing. Here, few of them, you can see that they are providing services related to storage, network, databases, Kubernetes, that is the container related services. They are providing security, management. They have very enhanced app engine. Google is doing lot of innovation in AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. They are doing lot many things. Uh, they have their own solutions related to big data, and they are keep developing all these solutions. So maybe you heard about Kubernetes container. Cisco has developed that. Now Kubernetes is such type of container that most of the businesses, most of the companies, they are using. Okay, so in this regard, you can think that Google has developed so many different type of databases. They have developed so many different type of containers. They are still working in AI and ML. They are working in all sort of new innovation. And once anyone will go and acquire Google services, GCP services, they can use all these services. Obviously, there are price associated with all these services, but as a customer or as a company, I don't need to bother about running those services, maintaining those services. What I can do, simply I can pay and use. Okay. Yeah. So here you can see that why GCP. So they are going to provide you, first of all, secure services. They are not trusting anywhere. So they are also following zero trust model. Do not trust anyone. If two different services or parties are there, they should authenticate first. They should create some sort of secure relationship. After that, only they can communicate. Okay, they have the open APIs, and we know about this application programming interfaces that nowadays the application layer can talk to other system application layer. So APIs are nothing but it's a machine to machine communication channel. One machine can talk to other machines. So maybe Google Cloud APIs can talk to bank APIs, or can talk to railways APIs, platform API, can talk to airlines APIs, hotel management APIs, etc. Means they are they are they are doing all sort of internal machine to machine communication, and Google, they are using open APIs. Then you can go and check that they are providing actual high availability feature. Later on, I will log into this particular link and I'll show you that how Google is providing their services in all the locations. So first of all, they have the spreaded geographical location visibility, and in those visible areas, they are providing all sort of services. Obviously, I told you earlier that Google is doing a lot inside AI and AI machine learning. These new areas, these new technologies, Google is leader in that. So these are the new innovation products that we have, at least that we can go and look for Google. They will provide you high security. They will provide you open API. Their services are available all the places. They are supporting AI and ML. These are the driving factors that why we can go for GCP. Later on, I'll log into the console and I'll show you a few of these examples. In this video, we are going to discuss about regions and zone. And if you compare this concept of region and zone, you'll find that for high availability, we are using the concept of regions and zone. So what does it mean? Now in networking world also, we are familiar with this particular term that when we need high availability and redundancy, we are using the concepts of multiple devices. So let me go one step back. What we are doing that in our networking world, first of all, we are using multiple links. You know the concept of ether channel or port channel. So that means if one link will go down, still you have multiple or two other links that will solve the data forwarding purpose. Then next level, we are using multiple devices. So suppose one or two. Here I have two routers or switches. They are HSRP pair or VRRP pair, etc. Means there are different type of load balancing methodology we have in networking world as well. So that means if one device is down, still you have some other gateway from where you can forward the data. Now, third type of redundancy we are using in network world is the site redundancy. That means you may have DC1 and very much same type of setting you have inside DC2. Okay, so if links will go down, devices will go down, if suppose entire data center will go down, still data can forward from one data center to other data center. Maybe one DC is working as a primary, and if one DC has any issue, entire data center is down. That will be rare of rarest, but still we have site type of redundancy. Almost similar type of concept you'll find inside any cloud provider. These cloud providers, they have concepts. So GCP has a concept of regions and zones, or zones and regions. Zone is nothing but data center situated in that particular location, and we have discussed about this zone in our previous video. Means about data center in our previous video, but actually the data centers are nothing but zones, correct? So there may be chances that suppose if you are in Singapore or if you are in US, Europe, etc., you may have multiple zone. Multiple zones mean same area or same region, you have different sites or different zones. Why? Because if one will go down, still you have other. If one will go down, still you have other. Now this is like you have redundancy in terms of zone, but suppose if you want redundancy in terms of region, and if you have data they are connecting via this region, and suppose if entire region will go down, still you can go via the other region, right? The only problem here is this, that redirecting the traffic towards other region, maybe your latency affected traffic. So there are some applications who are very much sensitive with respect to latency, correct? Very much sensitive with the distance factor or time delay, etc. So in that case, those application may get affected if the reachability, if the data traffic path needs more hop count. So maybe Singapore was the nearest site or zone to me, but due to unavailability of Singapore, I am redirecting my traffic towards far distance geographical location sites, but still it will solve the purpose. Your network will be up, but you may find slowness, latency in a network. Now, this is the clear picture. You can see that you may have multiple zones within a region. You may have multiple regions within multi-region, and global means that inside the overall framework, inside the global framework, you have multi-regions, and then you have regions inside regions, you have multi-zone, correct? So let me go back. Let me quickly show you that where you can go and check the zone specific information. You can see you can go to the Google locations, and once you are inside the Google locations, then you can see the regions, you can see the network, and if you scroll a little bit down, you can see that inside US West 1, West 2, you have compute, you have app engine. This is the availability of services related to that particular location. So there may be one use case. Suppose I'm using one service in Singapore. Suppose that same service is not available in US then. So obviously that will be poor design, right? You will find that most of the critical applications or most of the highly used application, they are present in all the regions. They are present. They are present in all the locations. Okay, such as like compute engine, you'll find everywhere. App engine, you'll find everywhere. But few of the applications, services, cloud aware engine you'll find only in US West, etc. Means there are few application which is not present everywhere, but mostly you'll find that most usable application they will be everywhere. Okay, so this is the concept related to region, zones, multi-region, and the global framework. Before winding up this section, I just wanted to show you one more place where you can go and check the AI related information. I told you that AI ML, Google is doing a lot inside this region. So here you can see that this is in reader mode. You can see that Google, they are having AI platform that is mostly used by the machine learning products and innovation, that is Vertex AI or AI Vertex. This is one of the tool that is used by most of the data scientists, machine learning engineers, Vertex AI. And then you can see that there are different type of AI related tools or AI related services. So AutoML, cloud language, DigiFlow, media translation, working with media AI, text to speech, working with text to speech AI, then have time series, working with time series API, video AI, not API, video AI, working with video AI's vision, artificial intelligence, and so many more that Google is keep working on that. Okay, let's just stop here. We have started section 1. In section 1, the first activity that we are going to do is that how we can go and create the project. Before creating the project, let me go and let me show you first of all that what is a resource hierarchy. That means that where exactly the project lies, what's the order of operation, etc. So now, first of all, you can see here on over your screen that by default, whenever you have the project, they are coming under company. Let me show you. This is actually type of file system, or Google is created this as a file system hierarchy, where you can see that on top you have organization, that will be the company name, and then you can see the folder. Folder means that that department XYZ shared infra, etc. Inside department, there may be sub departments or there may be subdivisions. So here you can see that department Y having two folders, team A, team B. Inside team B, again the product 1, product 2, etc. So where exactly our project lies? So project lies under organization. You can see under organization, you have folder, very much object-oriented programming type of hierarchy you have. And once you have hierarchy, then you have so much of inheritance features as well, right? That will be used within the GCP console. Now, then you can see the third layer that we have the projects, and inside projects, obviously you have the resources. So the fourth layer that you have belonging to resources, and then we have the shared resources such as compute engine, app engine, storage, etc. Let me quickly clear this stuff and clear all the drawings. And you can see here that this is the order where you have all the information. I have already shared this link in this slide. You can go and have a look that we have the organization, then we have folder, projects, and inside that projects we have resources. Okay, same thing. I'll go and show you that how you can perform the lab related to this. So first of all, you can go and log into your cloud console. Once you are there inside the cloud console, the moment I'm using free tier, you can go and click to this console option. Once you are inside the console, Google will by default create my first project. And this project is associated with something called project number and project ID. If you go and click my first project, you can see the recent, start, all. If you go inside all, you can see that under the organization, we have the project. So organization, folder, project, and resources, right? So under organization, we have the project, and should go back one step back so I can show you everything step by step. So let me go back to my first project, all organization and projects. Once you have the licensed version of the console, you can go and create the organization as well. Now from here itself, you can go and click to my new project. You can see the project name and with some ID is coming there. Let me go and cancel it. Again, I'll go back to my projects. I just wanted to show you all the options that we have to go and create new project. So we can go and create the new project, no problem. From there, I can go and rename this. So if I go and rename this, and suppose if I go and give this learn GCP, I just wanted to show you one thing that like Gmail, whenever we are creating the account in Gmail, and if you have the same name used, so Gmail will go and suggest you different name and number and combination of that, right? So here also it is telling you that, okay, whatever project name you have, it should be mapped with certain unique identification. And that's why it is telling you that project ID, this will be your project ID. It cannot be changed later. Okay. So I can give any name. I can give learn GCP. I can go and create it from here. Let me cancel it because I want to show you all the option. You can go to the search menu, and there also you can search create, and you'll find under IAM and admin, we have option create a project. So there also you can go and create a project, learn GCP ACE 001, right? And once I go and create it, let's create it first. So now you can see that we are creating one project, and already we have one default project, right? So I have my first project here. Now you can see that a recent one, we have learn GCP, we have my first project. So these projects are there. These projects, they are associated with some sort of unique project number, project ID, right? Now, there are other things also we can go and do here, but before doing that, I want to show you that the same project you can create from here as well. So you can go to the menu. You can see in menu, we have IAM and admin. You can go down, down, down. You can see you have option, create a project, click there. And from there also you can go and create project with unique identification number. Okay, at the moment I'll cancel it because already we have one project, and inside that project, if you want to do a little bit more, so first of all, I must go inside this project. You can see under the organization name, no organization, because we are using free tier. Inside that, you may have different folders, and inside that, so let me quickly show you this. And this is, by the way, this is the read mode. It is quite interactive. You can go and select the backgrounds, theme, etc. Right? And I like this one, so I'm using it. You can see the company, the folders, project, resources, and like that you have those option. You can go to the project setting. If you want to do little bit much more about that project, you can go and do it. You can edit the name, but uh, this project number, project ID should be unique. Okay. Once you create the project, try to be stick with that, do not change it, and then you can go and attach the resources with that. Okay. So this is the way that you can go and create the project. In future, suppose if you want to shut down this project, you can go and shut down this project, no problem. Whatever associated rules, IAM resources are associated with this project, everything will get shut down. Okay. All right. So this is the way we can create the project. In this video, we are going to learn about IAM roles and permission. IAM, we know that this is nothing but identity and access management. And you will find in almost all the cloud solution, you have IAM type of permissions and allow section. That means that you can create certain permissions and you can map those permission with certain roles, and those roles obviously can be assigned to users. Right? That's the overall idea with IAM and the roles. Now here we know that we need different type of permissions for different types of users. The rules, if you refer the rules, you'll find that this is very much in Cisco called RBAC. Is concept wise it is similar, but services and permission wise it is different. Role based access control or access management. IAM is also like that. So if you draw the triangle, you'll find that some user need higher permission. So they may be admin or super user. Then you have other level of permission that needed for operation. Then you need other level of permission that is just for the viewership or monitoring. Correct. So according to that, you may have different type of permissions, and then those permissions you can go and map with the role. That's the overall idea about this particular IAM. And if I scroll down, you can see that what different type of IAM rules we have. We have basic rule that was actually prior to IAM feature. Then you have predefined rules. That means n number of this good amount of predefined rules are there with Google Cloud. You can simply go and use these rules with different users. And then custom rules. Obviously, we can select those permissions and we can create our custom rules as well. Something termed as a user specific permissions and rules. Correct. Now here you can see that few of the example rules, and then the viewer rules, and then the owner. Owner, that means the highest level of permission. Viewer means lowest or least level of permission. So what I'm going to do here, I will log into the Cloud Console. Let me go back to the Cloud Console dashboard and let me clear the drawing. Once you are here, you can see the IAM. Once you are inside the IAM, simply go to the IAM. So I can show you the options that we have. So we are going inside IAM, and once you are inside the IAM, you can see that I have one permission that I have added here, and this is Giga Networkers. That's the role for this particular account that is falling inside principal, but the owner. So let me click to the rules, and you can see the owner. Owner is this particular email address, and then you can see that there is one other principal. Inside that principal, you can see that we have the viewer role assigned to this viewer. I can go and remove the principal because later on I want to go and add this. So now it is updated. The owner, the delete button is grayed out, means this can't be deleted, right? Great. So what we want to see here, we want to see here what are the custom made rules we have. So I can go to the rules. Just wanted to show you that if you want to see different type of custom rules, you can see, and on top you can see that you have the add button. So click add, and just for here you need to add the principal. So if you go on top and if you want to add, you can go and give any email account, any type of account here to adding purpose. Okay, and then you can go and add the rules here. So that user, you can think like this, that principal or that user having these many accessibility. Correct, because once you assign the role to that principal, that means you're assigning different type of permission to that particular user. Okay, let me go and click to manage roles. I just wanted to show you that different type of roles we have. You can see that predefined or Google Cloud specific roles 1065, and they are adding new roles all the time whenever they have the new features added inside the cloud. Initially, it was less than 900, maybe last year. Now it is 1000 plus. Then you'll find 1100, 1200 as per they will go and add more and more services. Now, if you want to filter here, you can go and filter with name, and you can go and check the rules and then the owner. I just wanted to show you the owner and the viewer, how many permissions mapped with those roles. So you can see that they have more than 5,800 permissions added to this role. And very importantly, I just wanted to highlight here is this, that they are API driven rules and permissions. The permissions are API driven, means whatever task that you are doing with those permissions, they are API driven. And if you have API knowledge, you'll find that mostly there are four tasks. One is post, whenever you are creating new object, whenever you are updating the object, this is put. Whenever you are getting the information, that is get. Whenever you are deleting the object, that will be delete. So likewise, you can see here the create is like post, get is getting the information, update means you are doing the put operation. There may be list, you are listing the uh, list and other operations, some update, delete is there. So these permissions behind the scene, they are very much providing API driven task information. Behind the scene, you'll find that everything is API driven. Behind the scene programming and logics are there, which is doing their job. So this is about owner. Now, if I go here and again, if I do the filter, and this filter, if I do with the roles and viewer, you will find that the viewer obviously having less permissions, and most of the permissions you'll find they are added with the get, either get or list. So they don't have post, they don't have put, they don't have delete permission because they are working as a viewer permission. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and then next section we'll go and perform the lab task. We will assign some roles to new user or new email account, and we will see that um, whatever roles, whatever permissions that we will assign, only that limited task that new user can perform. In previous section, we understood about roles and permission. In this section, I will show you the lab related to role and permission. So what I'm going to do here is that first of all, I'll go to IAM and admin. And here we can go and add users. Initially in previous version of GCP Cloud, you'll find that you're adding the user, but here it will ask you to add a principal. This will be nothing but one of the user, one of the Gmail account I'm adding. With this Gmail account, I don't have GCP enrolled, means I haven't enrolled for GCP Cloud or Google Cloud Console. This is working just as a user. Okay, so its free tier is not enabled. Now what role I want to assign? I want to assign him role compute viewer. Let's see if we have the, yep, compute viewer. So read-only access to get list of information about all compute engine resources, right? Click save. Now what I want to do here, I will go and quickly create one VM instance. So you can go to compute. Once you're inside the compute engine, if you're logging first time, it will ask you to enable it. I can see that one of the engine is already running. So I will go and stop it. It will take 90 seconds to get a stop. But in the meanwhile, I'll go and create new VM instance. At the moment, I will leave everything default. Everything default means the configuration related to this VM. The series is A2, this is general purpose. The machine type is 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB of memory, the operating system, everything I'm leaving this as default at the moment. Later on, we can go and play around with this. Okay. Allow HTTPS traffic, so everything is default. Great. Simply, I'll go and change the name. So instance or our learn GCP VM instance 1. Okay, I just changed the name and rest everything is default. Click create. So now we are creating one of the VM instance, and this VM instance that we are creating under the project learn GCP ACE 001, we should see this in our other GCP account where we have assigned as a compute viewer. So I'll go quickly and open. Here you can see that I have my other account, this account with Giga Networkers. Here you can see that project is default, will be my default, my first project, but you can go and search because I already searched. So that's why you can see that learn GCP ACE 001 is showing there. It's telling that you don't have much permission. Let's click retry. Permission to view this page, because at the moment, if you go back, you can see that is still the deployment is in progress. Okay, so it is deployed now. That's good. And I can go back to IAM. The best way is to search on the top, and you can reach there. So I have this Giga Networkers, one of the compute viewer, correct? And this is part of Learn GCP. So let's go back. I can go back here, refresh the page. Let me do the refresh one more time. To home, multiple projects are there. Let me go and select one of the project. So once we will access this particular project, inside that project itself will find that we can go and access the resources, right? So here also I have compute. Why not go to the compute engine? And now you can see that inside this particular user, I can have these learn GCP VM. Now, if you go here and click this more action, you can see that all the admin related stuffs are great because I don't have permission for these action, etc. What I can do here, I can check the network details, logs, monitoring, etc. If I click SSH from here, you don't have much permission to do this. Why? Because this is from one of the viewer user account. But here, if you go and do the SSH, obviously we can do it. So let me go back to this place, click SSH. It will try to do the SSH. Meanwhile, you can see here that I have created other instances as well. And since you are working with free trial, it's recommended that you do not lose or do not overutilize the free trial. Okay, so at the moment you are not using it, shut down, you can remove it. While it's spinning, such VMs will not take more than couple of minutes. Whenever it is required, you spin it and use it. Okay, so you can see clearly that we are able to SSH, but with the user account, we are not able to do that. Now I'll go back and assign some more privilege to that particular user. So we can go here, we can go and click edit, and then we can add other role. Here I want to give him role related to compute owner or admin. So see, we have compute admin account here, and I'll click save. Now to get this policy updated, it is taking few seconds or sometimes minutes as well. So be patient, and once you go back here, you can go and refresh the page. Once you go back and refresh the page, once the policy will get updated, you can see here you should have some more permissions. Still it is in progress. I can click SSH. Let's see. Still it is in progress. Still the policy update is in progress. What I can do here, I pause the recording for 1 minute. Once it will get updated, again I'll come back. So let me pause the recording. So I pause the recording and still I can see that it is throwing error. And in the error, it is telling that you are missing one more role. That role is IAM service account user. So I should go and add this service account user. So let me go back here. We can go here, edit, and we want to add another role that will be service account user. And let me quickly go and verify that what permission we are looking for. So this is service account user inside IAM, right? Service account user, you can see we have this. And let me click save. Now you can see that this particular principal or user having three different type of roles: compute admin, compute viewer, service account user. And if we can go back and if we can check, now we should have access. Retry. It's loading. Let him load. I can go back here. Oops. Okay, so I'll do one thing quickly. Let me close and let me refresh this page. It is refreshing. Click SSH. And let's see. Now this time it should do the SSH because we have fulfilled all the requirement that one user. Now we know that that particular user we have added as a principal. Inside that principal, we have given three different roles: a compute viewer, compute admin, and the service account user. Yeah, so it should do the SSN. Now you can see that it is doing SSH. Okay, so I hope that you understood the usability of IAM user rules and permission. And this is one of the nice example from where you can understand the hierarchy and the operation behind the scene. All right, let's just stop here. In this video, we are going to learn about cloud identity. Now here you can see that we have various ways to log into Google Cloud. And in that regard, you can see here that you can go and log in via the Google account. Whatever my Gmail account I have, I can log via that. We can go and log in via the service account as well. I'm going to show you that what does it mean by service account. We can go and log in via Google Groups. We have option with Google Workspace, and we have option with identity domain. So the Google account and identity domain means that suppose when you are running this cloud service in a organization in the enterprise level, so at that time obviously you will not use Gmail domain. At that time your enterprise domain will be different, correct? So with that enterprise domain or with that email address that you have at the level of your enterprise, you can log in with the Google identity domain, right? So one by one I will go and show you the option number one that you are seeing here, that we have very much understood this. We have created our account with Google account, and likewise we have worked on that. Then we have option number two, using service account. So let me show you that with service account how you can go and create it. Let me go and duplicate my tab. Meanwhile, in the back, you can see one of the website is hosted with this particular public IP address. When you run the VM instance, after that, you can go and host, means you can install Apache here. Once you have Apache installed here, you can go and create your own website. And you can see I have one demo website. Just let me show you here. So it is using public IP. This is home page. You can go to notice, something related to notice, vice versa. You can have this. It's just a demo, but you can go and create your own website, your own services, etc. Later on, we'll discuss this more on this. Let's go back to the service account. And an interesting thing about this service account is this, that if I go to IAM first, I will show you that interesting thing what we have. Let me move my marker here. IAM. Once inside identity access management, then you can see, let me open that. You can see that you have one account that we have created, means the admin account, one account that we have added via the Gmail. But apart from that, you can see that there are some service account as well. Service account for API services, service account for Cloud Engine, default service. Means these service accounts are there. What they are doing, that they are using the APIs and internally within the services, within the system itself, they are doing the communication. Now the point here is this, that can we create our own service account? Yes, you can create it. So I can go here and I can create one service account for demo purpose, my GCP ACE. So I have given this name, and the description also you can give nice description here. Create and continue. Yep. So now you can see that I am creating the service account, and the role I can go and give compute admin. Add one more. I can go and give the compute engine service agent, service account user. I can go and add viewer, etc. like we have done earlier. Continue. We are very much done. And now you can see that I have, for demo purpose, my GCP ACE account. Now what I'll do, I'll go back to the compute. So let me go to the compute engine. And inside this, I will go to this particular instance where I have the website running, but you don't need website to be running. Later on, you can go and check the website running and the methods related to that. And once you're here, you can go and attach this particular instance with the newly created service account. Okay, so let me quickly show you that how, oops, in wrong place. Let me go back to the, oops, you can see it is telling that how you are doing the load balancing. Okay, let me go back to compute. And let's go here, open that. And you can see here that you can go and add the service account there. Yeah, it will be a little bit below here. You can see that the learn GCP VM identity and access management. Here you can see that if you go and scroll, because it is up and running, it is not showing that option to edit. Let me go back here. I have one more instance there, and in that instance, obviously I can show you that. So let me go back. I can go here and I can go and click edit. So this was the first instance that we have created earlier. And in that, if you can go scroll down, you can see IAM section. And here, if you go, you can see for demo purpose, save. Overall idea, I think you understood that you can go and create the service account. And that service account basically used for machine to machine understanding. And then you can attach that service account with the VM instances. Okay, great. Let's go back. So we check marked point number 1, we already know. 2, then we have point number 3, using Google Groups. What does it mean by Google Groups? What you can do that you can always go to the Google Groups. You can search actually, and once you search, then you can go inside a Google Group. You can see here you have Google Group. You can go and create the Google Group. Inside this Google Group, you can go and add the email addresses and whatever policy that you will give. Oops, group name. This is the group name. I don't want this. You do one thing, you create the group name like say GCP ACE or whatever, learn with me. That's my group name. Next. And then you can go and give the group email, learn with me. Okay. Okay. GCP ACE. Next. Then you can go and add the group member. So this is 1, then this is 2, create the group. So now we are creating one group, and in this particular group, we have 2 group members, right? Okay. So now you can see that my group setting, people, members. You can add members if it will not be there. You can go and add it. Send invitation to add this. Okay. You can see these are the pending members, and they have to go and accept that invitation. Okay, so meanwhile, let me go in back and accept that. I'll come back here. So I log into my email address, is Giga Networkers, and I have accepted the invitation. And if I go and refresh, should see that it is accepted and it should be there. So now you can see the pending member is only one. Now you have these two users. These are the allowed users. So point being here is this, that this particular group name, that is Learn With Me, if I go and add in my GCP cloud, so if I go here and can go here and we'll add this particular user. So principal name is Learn With Me, and what's the domain? So domain should be, let's see here, group setting, yeah, googlegroups.com, and Learn With Me, googlegroups.com. You can see it is taking that. Now whatever role we will assign to this particular group, that means all those two members, member one and member two, so member one and member two, they will get that privilege. So later on, if I go and log in with that particular group, suppose if I have 50 members in that, they all have this compute admin role. And we know that inside compute admin role, we have all sort of permissions that compute admin can do. So you can see that this is group, and inside this group, all 10, 15, 20 members, they will get same sort of privilege. Okay, so this is about Google Group. Let's break this video in two parts, and in next part I will discuss about remaining two options that we have related to identity. Let us continue where we left off. So far we have already discussed about Google account, service account, Google Groups. In this recording, we are going to discuss about Google Identity Domain and Google Workplace. Now, this Google Workplace, initially it was famous or known as a Google G Suite, where you have all different type of Google products collaborated in single place. So I will log and I'll show you that what type of features, what type of solution, what type of packages we have inside Google Workplace. Now, before going there, Google Identity Domain is something like, this is like any corporate, they are using Google, correct? Means if we are using our Gmail account, that means we are using Google Gmail or Google domain, right? But suppose if someone is working in XYZ company and he has to use his own domain, we know that all the company, they have their own domain. Now from their domain, they can go and create their account inside Google Cloud, and then they can go even club their account, club, they can go and create their groups. Inside their groups, they can add multiple users that can be work as a Google identity domain. Means this can be, this type of concept, Google group content, concepts can be integrated inside Google identity domain. Right, now the next piece is Google Workplace. So let me quickly go and show you in my web browser. Let me go and open that. So here you can see that we have Google Workplace open. Initially it is known as GSUtil. And if you see the products, so it has Gmail, Docs, Calendar Sheet, Slides, Chat, Meet. One of the feature that we need is Meet. Other feature we need is the storage as well. Although with the free account also we can use it, but we have a limited accessibility, means we have limited storage and limited capabilities with the free account. But with the pricing, so if I go and show the pricing as well, obviously with the pricing you can go and have 2 TB of storage and 150 participants and recording, etc. So you can go and create your free account, trial account for 14 days, and after that the Google will bill you according to that. Okay, so this is one of the Google identity resources from where we can go and create the account and we can use Google Cloud. Right, so we are very much done with our cloud identity in the previous video, and in this video let's stop here. In this video we are going to discuss about enabling API within projects. Now APIs are huge, and I have actually so many courses related to networking programming, Cisco networking programming, such as CCNA DevNet, CCNP DevNet like DevCore, etc. And even I have some separate courses as well related to programming, DNA programming, SDWAN programming, ACI programming, etc. The point being here is this, that nowadays APIs are something that we must know. We should know about API. So we know from our Cisco world that we have 3 different style configuring the networking devices. Command line interface, that is CLI. Then we have graphical user interface, that is GUI. And finally, we have something known as API, or application programming interface. Now, these are the interfaces doing certain tasks. So now if I simply focus on API, APIs are nothing but they are carrying a small task or subtask. And if you are good at programming, you can club good amount of APIs inside your program or a script, and then you can execute that script, and within that script, it will go and run 10 or 15 APIs clubbed together to perform any major task. Okay. Now, prior to this video, again, I told that mostly our cloud, whatever cloud we are studying, they are API driven. And since they are API driven, then there are different type of methods to complete the API task. Majorly there are 4. So one is post. That means you are creating some object. Then you have put method. That means you are updating an object. You have get method. That means you are getting the information. And then finally you have delete. But apart from that, there are others as well. These are the 4 major ones: creating, updating, getting the information, and deleting the object. Okay, so point here in this video that how we can go and enable the API within the project. And the moment you do any of the tasks, by default, these APIs are getting enabled by themselves. So suppose if I am creating inside compute, I am creating this VM instance, that means you'll find that some of the APIs will get triggered. So let me quickly show you that. If I can go here to the API, let me search API. You can see APIs and services. So once we are inside the APIs and services page, you'll find that I can see some of the traffic related to API, but yeah, we can go to library, and inside library, if I scroll a little down, even I can go and search to compute, but let's go to compute because we are running one of the compute related resource. I can see here, few of them are blue, few of them are grayed out. That means it should, you need to enable them. So if I go and click App Engine Admin API, and you will see that it is not enabled. You have option here to go click this button, enable it. Otherwise, if I go to Cloud Run API, oh, this is also not enabled. This also you need to enable. If I go to compute engine, it is showing manage. That means it is enable, and then you can go and manage this API, right? You can see API enable. Let me go one step back. Let me go to the library one more time. Just wanted to reconfirm that Cloud Run API. See, it's not enabled. Okay, click here to enable it. This is serverless agility for containerized app. Here you can see the overview. You can see the tutorial and document. You have some quick start as well. So if it is required, you can go and enable it. Otherwise, within the project itself, when you go and run certain tasks, automatically these APIs will get kicked on. You see the Kubernetes engine API, it is not enabled because we are not using the service. So this is the way, say enabling and disabling is not a big task, but it should be required. So before you go and enable it, should be required to enable this. Otherwise, now you can see the API is enabled. Right, so see, simply enabling is very easy. It's not a big thing. But point being here that what task we are doing, according to that particular task, we can go enable the APIs. All right, so let's stop here. Now we reach to section subsection 1.2, where we have to learn about creating one or more billing accounts, and that billing account, how we can attach or link with the project. So let me go to the dashboard, and we have dashboard here. Let's go to the menu. Inside that menu, you can see that you have this billing here in the bottom, or you can go and search billing and you will get that billing. Go to that billing. You can see that we have this my billing account. From my billing account, you can go and create the account. It will ask you the name of the account, the country. You have two options here for account to be associated: Google Cloud Platform, Google Maps platform. You can continue, then it will ask you about credit card information. If it is already saved, then you have to give the CVV number, and then you have to continue. Okay, so at the moment I have one billing account, so I don't want to create new one. Okay, here you can see once you are inside the billing, you have the options related to billing reports, overview, cost table breakdown, commitments, analysis, budget alerts. We'll see these things in the next video: pricing, transactions, etc. Now the important one is the account management. So I can go back to the account management. And this I don't want to create here. So let's go to the billing. So already we have the billing account. See, already I have my this billing account. This billing account, how you can link with the project. So on top you can see that my projects is there. Click there. And one of the project I have here, my project 67025, which is not attached with any of the account. You can see it's not attached with the billing account. So what I can do, I can go and click change the billing, and you can see that there are three options. So if already attached account is there, it will ask you that we can disable the billing, change the billing, lock the billing. So I can go here and I can change the billing, and then I can select my billing account and set the account, correct? And it will get set. Now, suppose if I do not do this, if I do not attach this billing account, then what will happen? So now if you go to the compute engine, and once you are inside the compute engine, if you go and change the project, so the new project was 6725, where the account was not attached. You can see compute engine API, click enable, and now it is telling that your billing account is not enabled, so you're not able to attach, or you are not able to instantiate the VMs. So here also it is asking about billing account, set the account. Once you set the account, then only it will go and enable that particular compute engine. So that means that if you do not have proper billing account attached, things will not work. Anyhow, you have to go and enable the billing account. Otherwise, you will not able to access all the features, right? So here we are. Yeah, here I can go and click manage billing accounts and my projects. And now you can see that this particular project is attached with the billing account. Again, if I go and disable this, so you can see that this will be grayed out here, and then you have the limited access to do different type of tasks. Okay, so we are very good here. Let's stop here. In this video, I'm going to show you that how you can go and set your budgets and alert. Let me go to the Google console. Once you are inside the billing section, you can see here in between, you have budgets and alert option. Go click there. And then you can see that inside billing, we have the option related to budget. Suppose if you want to set some sort of alert messages, so it will go and give you the alert. You can go and set the alert at 50%, at 90%, etc. Okay. So first of all, it is asking about the name, scope, and the name. This is my GCP ACE01. You can give any logical name here. Time range monthly, you can see that monthly, quarterly, yearly, etc. I leave it as monthly. We have total 2 projects, so I'll go and assign this with the learn GCP ACE001. All services, or you want to select certain services. Mostly we are using compute services. In our previous section, widely used service that we have used was the compute service. So you can go and select compute related to compute engine, etc. Or at the moment, I will leave this as default. I want to monitor all the services. Total 1935 services, right? Then you can see that credit, discount, promotion, etc. Leave this as default. Go next. Now next, it is asking about that your monthly budget. You will see here, it will give you the option that you want to specify the amount, or you want to specify the last month is spent. So I just wanted to specify the amount, and the amount I can make as 1,000. And you can see this is in INR. In your case, it may be dollar or any type of currency used in your country. In my case, it is in rupees, INR. I can go click next. And now you can see the alert option. So by default, it is giving us the alert option for 50%, 90%, 100%. That is actually best alert thresholds we have. So 3 different threshold, but if you want, obviously you can go and change. You can make it as a 45% or 60%. I'll edit this one only, 60%. So whenever the amount will reach to 600 rupees, you will get trigger. Or if you want the forecasted message, it will go and give you the forecasted message as well. So you can see here, actual is that sent alert when the actual spend incurred. Forecasted means sent alert when the spend is forecasted to exceeded the percentage of the budget. All right, so I just wanted to give the actual. If you want to add any new threshold, you can go and add, but 3 is enough. Actually 50, 90, 100 is widely used. Then how you want these notification, alert notification. So we have option here to get via the email alerts. We have option with some link monitoring email notification. We have option with this pub sub notification as well. Okay. At the moment, I will leave this as email alert. And then let's click finish. So now our GCP ACE budget name has been specified with this particular project, and threshold has been set to 60, 90, 100%. Okay, out of 1,000 rupees. That's the budget for that particular project. Okay, so this is the way that you can create the budget, you can allocate with the project, and you can set the threshold. We are very much good here to stop. Let's stop here. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this section, I'm going to show you that how you can go and create the billing export. Let me quickly go and log into the Google console. We are in the console, and here you can see just below that budgets and alert, you have this billing export option. Now, once you are inside the billing and export, you can go and do the export related to BigQuery report, and also you can go and do the export related to file export. Now, this file export option that you can see here is very much deprecated. So the only option that we have at the moment is related to BigQuery export. Okay, I'm going to show you that how you can create the datasheet inside this. But before going there, if you just want to learn about BigQuery, little bit more detail about it, there are some tutorials, there are some videos as well. You can go and check the project documentation as well. All right, let me close this and let's continue our BigQuery export. Here you can see that we have the edit setting. In that section, you can click, you can select the project for that you want to create the export, but for that export, you have to create the data set. Now this data set should be letters, number, underscore, etc. So learn GCP. I'll give any name. Bill. I'll give that Bill. Any name you can give in this format, and then about the location. Enable table expiration if you want, we can enable that. I just wanted to create the data set. Now, once the data set have been created, you can see I can go and populate this. It's auto populated, but we can go and populate this. You can click save. And now the BigQuery export data set has been enabled. You can see that a standard usage cost enable. Okay, and you can see the project name, you can see the data set. And then I can scroll a little down, and I want to create this detailed usage cost. Click there, the same. All right, invalid dataset region, close, no problem. I can go and give the valid dataset reason. Seems that the dataset that we have created earlier is showing some issue related to the location. Okay, I'll give this new 001 and let's create this 001, save it. Now, detail usage cost. So you can see here that we have two different data set. And now this is also enabled. Then you can see that we have the pricing. Now, detail about this BigQuery export, you will see in the upcoming sections when we'll go and populate um, our Google console with different VM instances. When we have the other activities going on, then I will come back to this section and I'll show you more about this, the clear picture about this. At the moment, simply we are creating the billing export, and you can go and create the data set, because data set is the BigQuery will export that query item there. Seems there's some authorization issues there. So BigQuery export will create a table with you billing data in the selected data set. How this data set look like, what is the output, how it will be filled, you will see these options. At the moment, we are updating the pricing. Give him some time to update it. It's taking a little bit more time than the normal. We can wait for a few more seconds. So you can clearly see here that it is asking for authorization. Click continue. Click continue. There is some pop-up blocker which is blocking this. I should go and enable that blocker. So again, you can see that it is asking for authorization, and let me provide that authorization in the back. All right. Hopefully it will get authorized if no pop-up issue will come into the picture. So you can see now that all the features are enabled: a standard usage cost, detailed usage cost, and the pricing. And this way we can go and create our billing export. Now, obviously in future, when we have so many things going in this particular section is related to different areas in Google Cloud, we'll go and check the exact result from this billing export. Welcome everyone to section subsection 1.3. As a core network engineer, what we love? Actually, we love CLI. And in section 1.3, we are going to learn about the CLI part of Google Cloud. The CLI, why we love as a core network engineer, because it is fast, right? With CLI, you can give one line command, two line command, and it will do its job. So CLI is obviously there for troubleshooting. You can use GUI, you can use APIs, but we know that ultimately the fastest way to do the debugging and troubleshooting is the CLI. Now in Google, the CLI part that we are going to discuss is little bit different, because that CLI and plus the development toolkit that we have in subsection 1.3 is a little bit more robust than what we have in Cisco world. So let me quickly go and let me quickly show you a few of the high points, and then we'll go and do the lab. So Cloud Shell that we have in Google, what it is doing, that this particular shell is used to, and let me highlight, if I have the highlighter, let me choose this. Yep. So Cloud Shell is online development and operation environment, and that's the key. It's an online development and the environment operation environment accessible shell. It's written in Linux. It's quite powerful. A small instruction can do work, whatever we can do via the GUI. That's the overall idea. So it's basically for development and the operations. Okay. Now there are different versions, and in upcoming section we'll learn about that. Means we can go and run the web version of the cell. We can go and run the IDE type of environment. I will show you that this environment how it look likes. We can go and install the SDK inside our laptop, and from SDK we can utilize the G Cloud components or G Cloud version. So you will understand each and everything in the upcoming videos. But behind the scene, this is the CLI version, right? And this CLI version may be embedded inside the web. So here you can see that it is embedded inside the web. In the bottom, it will come pop up. It may be installed as is SDK software development kit in my laptop, right? Or if you want, we can use this as an environment as well, IDE environment like this. shell editor is working as an IDE environment. All right. So before going to this shell environment and discussing more and more, you'll find that this is one of the useful utility. Once you have your shell environment enable in Google Cloud, it has some persistent backup as well. Means it has actually 5 GB of backup. And there is one important aspect about this is that suppose if you go and refresh your page, so um, whatever there you are doing, it will get lost. So it is termed as a ephemeral solution, means the data is not persistent except the home and the user. Whatever you will save inside the home and the user, it will persist. Apart from that, if you go and create any file folder inside any other uh, place, it will go and get destroyed. Okay, so let me quickly show you that what does it mean, and then we'll move to the next video. I don't want to make this very big lengthy video. So let me quickly go and open that shell. Let's go back. First of all, let's go to the console. So cloud.google.com. Once we are inside the console, you can see that in this console on the top, you have activate cloud shell. You can go and click there, it will get activated. In the bottom you can see that provisioning of cloud shell machine is in progress. I can stretch this little bit up so you can see the changes, and now you can see that I'm inside this particular shell. This is cloud shell, and there are certain properties as well, so you can click to the more. You can see that this is default mode, ephemeral mode, usage stats, and go and click the usage. Let me clean this and let me show you this. So we can upload, we can download from this particular shell. About cloud shell, you can see that manage your infra, develop your application from the browser within the cloud shell. It's telling about the cloud shell, what other options we have, what other features we have. You can go and check. This is the web preview. You can go and check the terminal setting, terminal preference. If you want to increase the text size, I can go and give this as a medium size so you can see it properly. Then font, you can change. Text is there, color theme is there, light custom keyboard style is there. If I make this light, it will look like this. This is not that great. So I'll go and change this to the dark mode. Okay, so now we have the cloud shell which is running as a default mode. I can go and run this as ephemeral mode. What this ephemeral mode will do, that cloud shell ephemeral mode has a non-persistent disk which loads faster due to fewer setup. However, changes on your disk won't persist. Okay, always start cloud shell in ephemeral mode. It will be faster, but changes will not saved. Okay, so I'll do one thing quickly, because earlier I told you that by default it is in ephemeral mode, but you can see that this is in default mode. I'll go and create certain file here. Let's see that it will be persisting there or not. Okay, and before going there, you can see that this is the user. We are inside a shell, and this is our project name, right? Now this is a long line, and if you want to make this small, you can use the export. This is the keyword process, and then the dollar. Oops. Then the dollar. Enter. Now you're here. You can check the present working directory. So if you are in the ephemeral mode, which is not in this case because we are in the default mode, if you create any file, save anywhere except this place, it will get lost once you refresh the page. Okay, but what I'll do here, that oops, I'll go and check the directory first. And do we have anywhere I can go and create anything, right? So we are here. I'll create one file here, txt within nano editor, control O, control X, save the buffer, yes, not allowing me to save. So let me exit from here. I should use sudo nano abc.txt, give anything here, no problem, control O, control X. Now we have that, we can go and check. We have this particular file. If you type clear, it will clear the screen. So what I have done here, that I created one text where inside the opt folder, and if we reload this particular or restart this particular session, it should go right. So we are checking this inside the default mode and ephemeral mode. Inside default mode, we are checking that the file we have created is exist or not, and then obviously in ephemeral it will go. So let's wait, it will come back. We'll check that the file is there in our folder, opt folder or not, and then I will show you the same thing. I will change the mode and do the same exercise. Meanwhile, these are the Linux command, and if you are new to the Linux shell, these are very basic command in Linux. You'll get the cheat sheet from anywhere. You can search inside Google. You'll get that cheat sheet related to basic operations like how to create directory, how to create file, how to edit something inside the Linux shell. If you do a little bit of 4 to 5 hour study, you'll understand all these things. So now you can see that we are back here, and what I will do, that I will go and check that directory. So we can go to opt and let's check here that inside this directory do we have anything. Okay, you can see it's gone, it's not there in opt directory. So you can see that in the default mode itself we are not able to save anything. That means it's gone after restarting the shell. And obviously if I do this in ephemeral mode, it will obviously gone. So what I'll do here, that I'll go to the home here, and then I'll do the same thing, sudo nano rr.txt. Okay, and let's see, you have this file called rrr. Okay, let me clear the screen. Yep, you can see the rr file is there, cat rr.txt. Now if I go and reboot this or restart this, inside the home directory you will see it. Okay, so at the moment what we have discussed is that Google itself is providing the web embedded shell where we can go and run um, shell, means command via the shell, and this is Linux version of Google service or Google server, from where it will go and interact all the services that we have. You can see we have good amount of services, 200 plus services we have. So all the services with the shell, we can go and interact. We can create some project, we can um, assign anything to the project, etc. Means everything we can do from this shell as well, and the shell is fast. There are certain restriction with this shell as well. I'll come to know in the upcoming videos, but it's fast and we can use it. So this is one of the version that we are seeing here. The other version is SDK, and the upcoming video will understand about that. Now, once I'm here, you can see that we have option here to open the editor as well. Now, once I click the open editor, you can see that provisioning your Cloud Shell machine, connecting to Cloud Shell editor. Behind the scene, it is trying to open the editor. We'll check the editor version as well. Once it will get connected, you can see it. Okay, so here you can see this is the IDE, and you can see our file RRR is there. If I uploaded any image, that image is also there. Okay, so you can see that you can upload, you can download, you can check the usage activity and about the Cloud Shell. All right, so we are very much done here. Let's just stop here, and in the upcoming section, we'll go and check more and more features related to this shell. Let us continue where we left off in the previous section, previous video. Now we are inside the cell, and this cell, you can see here that I can go and upload anything. I can download anything. So let me go and upload anything, any image from my directory. I'm uploading it. And once the upload is completed, I can go and show that yes, I have uploaded cover AU. Okay. There are some other as well like back and rat, etc. But yeah, you can see that how easily we can upload here. Now, before moving further, there are some other things as well I just wanted to highlight. You can go here and check the usage quota. It will tell you that every week Google Cloud, they're giving you 50 hours of usage. And so far I have used 6 hours out of 50 hours. That means that after 7 days, so whatever day is today, you can see that 4th of August, again the quota will get revised and again I'll get 50 hours of usage. Now, suppose if you are overutilized, then you have to wait for your 1 week period. Okay, so that's a very important thing related to quota. The rest of the things on top that we have discussed in the previous section. Other important thing here is that with this particular cloud shell, Google is providing you some pre-packaged tools as well. So what does it mean? Means here if you can go and check the Python version, or you have to use like this. So Python 3.9, almost latest version of Python is running. If you go and check the Git version, you can see Git version, Git is also running. Like that, you will find that there are so many inbuilt packages are there, tools are there, installed or pre-installed there. Let me open one cheat sheet here, and you can see that getting a started cheat sheet. Get going with the cloud. If you want to initialize, authorize, and configure the Google Cloud, you can go and use this command. If you want to check the uh, G-Cloud version, you can go and use that. Let me go and show you that as well. And if I can take this out, so I can run the command parallelly as well. So here we are. I can go here and I can show you the cloud version. You can see here that there are so many packages which is already up and running there inside this native cloud shell. We can go and check the info. You can see the info as well. So what's the account, what's the project, the accessibility, good amount of information that we have here, right? Then in this particular cheat sheet, Help is there. You can go and use G-Cloud help. You can check the feedback. You can check the topic. Then if you want to do some sort of configuration, make G-Cloud CLI your own personalized configuration with properties config set related to compute zone, config list, then credential related command that will check in the upcoming section, projects IAM related command, and there is nice help as well. So if you are here and if you cloud help, you can get all these information. I mean, suppose if you don't know that after gcloud I want to create some billing project, so you can go and again type gcloud billing project and then help. It will give you all those information. So complete Linux type of help option that generally we are getting in Linux, here also you have. Okay, great. So I'm going to show you one example that will be related to one of the operation that we want to do here from the cheat sheet. So once you are inside the cheat sheet, and this is valid for either it's a cloud hosted shell, or in the upcoming video we'll go and install this in our laptop in our local system via SDK. So that process also I will show here. I want to create the bucket inside the cloud, and this is using GSUtil cloud storage utility. You want to make the bucket and then you have to give the URL. Okay, all right, so I just wanted to show you that how you can create the bucket with this particular cheat sheet, so it will be helpful to understand more about that. Before creating the bucket, I can show you this via the console as well, the GUI console as well. So we can go to the menu and you can see the cloud storage. There is no bucket. We can go and create one new bucket. Give the name, pick global unique name spacing. Okay, so I will go and give the name, and this name will be bucket, say via the web console, GCP. Yes, you can give any name. Continue. Multi-region. We can leave it default. Can leave it default, no problem. We can leave everything default and then create. So it is creating one of the bucket, and you can see here that we have the bucket here. I want to upload something, so upload files. I have my anything, say cover underscore T. I'll go and upload inside the bucket. So upload is in progress. Sooner you'll see that, yeah, we have the cover underscore T inside the bucket. Let me go back. And now you can see that we have the bucket web console, and it's for multi-region. This operation we are doing via GUI, right? And you can see here the below the image as well. Now this particular URL is unique actually. And if you copy this particular URL and if you paste this URL, you'll get this image. So behind the scene, Google is creating the hash of it. Now this is a long unique link, right? API data with Google content storage referring to that particular link that we have. It should be uniquely identifiable link because in a storage it should have some naming, numbering, and according to that it is mapped while you are accessing it via the public platform. This is one sort of unique URL that it is creating. Great. So now we have the bucket, and let me go back to the summary page. So here you can see that we have the bucket that we have created via the web console. Now the same thing I just wanted to create via the GUI via the cell as well, via the cloud cell as well. And if you type Q, you will come outside. So we are going to use the utility that we have, that Google storage utility, GSUtil. So we can go and do GSUtil and then help. You can see that we have good amount of features that is connected with GSUtil. Let me close this and let me scroll a little bit down so you can see that, yeah, we have options there. Now, before going further, um, let's see that what images we have. So you can see that I have back_4, and here what image I have uploaded. Let me see, cover_T. So what I will do, that from the CLI, from the shell, I will go and upload the image back_4, okay, to Google bucket, okay, Google storage. So how we can do that? We can simply go and use the copy command. Let me scroll a little bit down so you can see parallelly the operations. Okay, so GSUtil is the command, and then we can use copy. What you want to copy? You want to copy this back for dot png, and where you want to upload? You want to upload here to the bucket, but before uploading this, we should have one bucket created. Means either I can go and upload here, or let's create one new bucket with this GSUtil. So make the bucket, and then you should give the URL, and then I want to create the bucket. You can give the name, say bucket with respect to Cloud Shell, right? And you can see that behind the scene, you should go and create, oops, basically Cloud Shell is already exist, another name for this particular bucket, Cloud Shell GCP ACE, and it has been created. Now, I don't want to refresh the entire page, but if you go and refresh here this particular page, see that Cloud Shell GCP bucket is created, but there is no folder, right? Nothing is there. So what we can do now, that again we can go and use the util command, and then the copy command, that is Linux command, and then we have back for png that I want to upload to. I simply copy and paste. So I want to upload to this particular, oops, control C, control V will also work, this particular location, enter. See, copying is working and everything is fine. It should be uploaded here. So if I refresh the page, you can see this back for PNG is uploaded here in that bucket via the command. And initially, what was there in that web console? That was something, oops, different images. Yeah. All right. So you can see that how fast it is, that whatever operation that we are doing via the web console, via the GUI, we can do via the shell command as well. Okay. All right. Let's stop here. Welcome again. In this section, we are going to learn about how we can go and install Cloud SDK in our local system or in our laptop. Okay, since I'm using Windows, so I will show you the steps related to Windows laptop or Windows operating system laptop. If you are using some other operating system, let me quickly show you that where you can go and get the installation related information. So here you have this Cloud SDK docs install. And once you are there, you can see that you can go and install our popular operating systems like Linux, Ubuntu, CentOS, macOS, Windows. I just wanted to install this over Windows, and once I install it, then I'll show you a few of the commands related to that. We can go and do the authorization. So that means that from our system, from our laptop itself, we can go and run those commands which we use to execute from this particular cell. Okay, that's the difference here. So now we are not going to run the command from the shell, but we want to use the SDK install in our local system, and we'll run from our CLI from here. Okay, great. So what's the install process? It is again is scripted. You can see that Google is giving you Google Cloud SDK installer.exe. Simply you need to go and open your PowerShell terminal and then run this command. So I have my PowerShell and I can go and paste. So let me quickly copy and paste. It's just copied. It is pasted here. You can see that the Google Cloud CLI setup wants to install. I will click next, agree, simple user or all users. I want for all the users. Create yes. Installing in this particular folder, this location. Bundle Python, Cloud Tools for PowerShell, beta commands, unchecked. Like that, simply go and install it. Installation is in process. It may take 1 to 2 minutes to install. You can see that in detail behind the scene. It is work in progress. All right, so once it is get installed, then what I'll do, I'll open the CLI, and inside the CLI, I'll show you that cloud commands. First command to run, and then we'll do the authorization. So we should be authorized for our projects, so we can run those commands that we have executed via the cloud-based shell. Meanwhile, behind the scene, it is installing. Let me pause the recording for 1 to 2 minutes. So here you can see that installation is still is in progress. You can see what are the tools it is installing in that package. So BigQuery command line tool, then cloud storage related tools, then tools related to PowerShell, the gcloud CLI dependencies. It is installing the BigQuery command line tool. So many different packages, Windows line SSH tool, other tools. It is installing. Just keep installing. Now this is almost in final progress. You can see that now it is checking the performing post-processing steps. Yeah. So let this completed 100%, and then from the CLI we are going to verify that the gcloud SDK is installed in the system or not. Now you can see that it is done. Click next. You want to create some desktop icon and all, and checking the network connection. That's good. It's doing some diagnostic checks. Let him do. You must log in to control. Like to log in. Means I simply want to show you that authorization process as well from the CLI, but it is doing this authorization, and I can go and allow it. And once it is allowed, you can see how much automation is there. So it is telling that you are logged in via this particular account. You want to pick your cloud project to use, which one you want to use, and we have something called uh, learn GCP. So you can see this 3 number learn GCP ACE. So I just wanted to use that, and rest of the things I'll leave it as default. Do you want to configure a default compute? I can use default, so I should give yes. but you can see that I am inside the Google Cloud SDK, right? But I have other CLI as well, and if I go from there, if I type gcloud, so it is not there, but I should go to reach to this particular folder to use that, right? So I can use gcloud, and it is telling that yes, it is there, it is showing some result. Let me quickly go and increase the font size a bit so you can see it properly. Great. So now we have our SDK installed, and inside that SDK, if you type Q, will come outside. You can always go and use the same sort of command that we are using in the shell version. So you can see that we have the GSUtil, we have BigQuery, we have core, etc. We have the SDK, and now I can go and do the auth. Always you can go and use the help as well. Yeah, very much we are getting the feeling that we are working inside the Linux shell. So here, if I go and check the auth list, so it is telling that your account, you are using this one as a primary account. And if you want to add any more account, then you can go and check the login. This time it will go and re-authenticate. And I want to allow that as well. And now if you go and check the list, you'll find that you have two. Presently, this is the primary one because it is showing active star, and now this becomes secondary. Again, if you go and log in, I just wanted to change the parameter because this is my primary account and I want to work with my primary account, so that's the reason I'm changing it. So now if you go and check the list, you'll see that the bottom one is the primary and the Giga Network is the secondary account. Great. Apart from that, we have complete cheat sheet here. We can go and utilize our cheat sheet. We have Kubernetes, we have GSUtil cheat sheet. We can copy, we have done this, right? So let's check this GSUtil ls. And see, we have these buckets created there. Likewise, you can check everything. All those commands that you can see there in that cloud related shell, you can see here in the SDK as well. So I want to check the Terraform version. Oops. Okay. We'll check this Terraform later on, but apart from that, is whatever utils we have, you can see that util there, right? So gcloud version, and you have GSUtil, you have BigQuery, core, these things are there. Let me quickly check that. Do we have other thing as well, like gcloud help, other features that gcloud will provide us? So billing, flags, access tokens, configuration, billing projects, oops, flags, and all those informations are there. All right, so we have good amount of information here that you can see, that we can play around with this. In upcoming section, we will learn more and more about this. We are very much good here. Let's just stop this session here. Since we have our SDK installed, I want to show you few of the CLI commands related to this particular SDK. I will go and refer the link as well. So for your study, you can refer that particular URL and you will get the handful configuration related to gcloud. So this is one of the cheat sheet. Here you can see that gcloud help, feedback topic, etc. And then if you want to check the gcloud related, config related properties and commands, you can see that make the gcloud CLI your own personalized, your own configuration with properties. So your configuration set, define a property for the current configuration, get the value, etc. Just to kick a start, I can go here and check these. So first of all, I just wanted to check that gcloud config list. What is the current property to my existing project and who is the current user? So this will display all the properties for the current configuration. Yes. What's the account? What's the project? It is showing about that. Now I can go set and unset this particular configuration. So what you can do, that you can go here and you can use config and then you can use unset. So if you go and do the config and unset, that means it will unset that. I'll check the help. Help will tell you that what you want to unset. You want to unset the project, and it's a big help here. But anyways, yes, I want to unset the project, and what's the project name I have? So the project name that I have is this. Simply I can go and use project because this is the default project. So obviously it will go and unset that, right? And then if you go and check the list, now you can see that with this account, there is no project associated. Okay, so the way that we have done the unset, same way we can go and do the set as well, correct? So I want to set the project and that project name is whatever we have done in the unset, correct? So I can go and copy and then paste here, enter. So it's a very basic operation that how we are doing set and unset from our SDK. And then if you go and check the list, so again, you will find that we have the project with the current user. Apart from that, you can see that you can go and do the config creation. You can go and check the configuration list. So let's go here and check the gcloud configuration list. And this is configurations list. So that's why it was throwing an error. So here you can see that it is telling you about the configuration list. That configuration list we can go activate. We can go and create. We can go and get the value. So config get value. All those information you will get here. Now, point being here is this, get the config. This is programming interface, correct? This SDK. Now, once you are using this programming interface, earlier I told you that these programming interfaces, they are mostly interacting with the APIs in the back. And since they are interacting with the APIs in the back, so they are doing these many operations. Let me try to draw here so you will understand more and more about this. I can go first of all, clear the screen and make everything visible here. Let me use the mouse. Let me go here, clear the screen. So already I told you earlier that there are operations that it is doing. What operation? So it is doing the get operation, means this SDK will fetch the result. It will go and create something equal to post. It will go and create the new object. It will go and delete as well, means you want to delete an object, and finally it will go and update at well. Update means not get. Update means that it will go and do the put type of API function. Okay, so get, put, post, delete, and put. Majorly these four tasks it will do 100%. Okay, so now we know about the current configuration set. I just wanted to show you a little bit about the projects as well. So let me see if I have anything here in this. I can show you about the project GCloud project details as well. In this cheat sheet, you will not find all the commands, but still it has the handful command that you can go and kick a start your journey, right? So I'm going to check about the projects. So for that, you can go and do the projects list. How many projects we have? You know that we have one Learn GCP. Apart from that, we have created others as well. Like my first project will be created by default. My project, this I have created one other default project. So you can see Learn GCP and some other projects are also there. Now you can see here that you can go and check the describe as well. Projects describe, display the metadata for project including its ID. Some of the commands you can see it's not working from this SDK, but if you go and run these commands from the cloud shell, it will 100% work. Okay. Anyways, all the time we have option that we can go and uh, do the help, and we can get the help from that. Okay. Now what I want to do here, that let's continue with our project, and with that project I just wanted to create one of the new project. So one of the new, I'm creating one new project, and let's see, it should go and create the new project for us. During project, there must be a start with a lowercase letter, can be lowercase ASCII character, and all those. One new project. Let's see. Some of the characters were there which was not taking from this API. Then I have changed the name and I created this project called one new project. If we go to our Google Cloud, and if we see all the projects, see one new project is there, right? So you can see that we have created this new project from our CLI. Once we have that project, then we can play around with the project values and all, right? Next, what I will do, I'll go and delete that project as well. So same way that we have created, see, this is post type of object, means you are creating some new object. Likewise, you can go and do the delete function from the API. You want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. I want to delete. And you'll find that sooner it will get deleted. And if you go in the back, from there also you'll find that it will get deleted. But anyways, you have created one project from the SDK, you have deleted that project. Finally, in this section, I just wanted to show you about billing as well. You can go and check the billing information as well. And if I want to check the billing list, can I do that? So billing and then the list. So we have that function list, get, create, right? So it is telling that billing list is not there, but you can go and check the billing budgets. Let me type it correct. Let's see that what budgets they are telling. Again, it is telling that you can go and check the budgets argument, list and help. So it will tell you that in detail what exactly it is it want to show. Still it is throwing an error. Maybe some of the commands having some beta release as well. So I can go and check the beta and then the list. So this is something like you can use like this. You can see Google is telling that you can use beta command with these options. So gcloud beta billing account list, and let me type it here. But always you can go and check these commands. There are some error related to SDK and the administration, but 100% if you go and run these commands from your cloud cell. So if I go here, cancel this, open this shell, I can run that command from there and you will see that it will show the result. Few of the unsupported command that was not supported in SDK due to some permission issue, due to some unsupported packages that we have in SDK versus the cloud native cell. Those things also you will find that it will get support there. Authorize, and you can see that after authorization it will show you the results. So here you can see that my billing account, and it is working fine. Rest of the commands you can work from yourself. You can check the cheat sheet and you can work according to that. All right, let's stop here.